Welcome back. We're just about to start putting the frame together now. So before we do, it's always a good idea to check that your pieces are a similar length. So we've got two pieces here, which are 40 centimetres, two pieces here, which are 35, and two more 40s, half pieces, and then two more 35s, half size, and then we've got the four corner sections. Okay. What we're going to do, two 40s are going to go in that direction, then we're going to put the two 35s in between, like so. What we need to do now is actually screw some screws into the wood, like that, so it goes through this piece of wood into that side piece there. However, it's actually very tricky to screw sideways into some pieces of wood. It's always a lot easier to screw down. Also, if I try and push a screw in here, all that's going to happen is my wood's going to shift along the bench, so we need a way of holding it. So what I'm going to do is put this piece of wood down in my vise. Just remember that you want the grooves to be on the outside of your flower box, so they're going to be pointing towards me. And have it nice and low in the vise, and then grip it nice and tightly. And I'm going to rest this piece, the 40 centimetre piece, on top. What I'm looking to do is to make sure that the edge of my 40 piece of wood is in line with the front edge of this vertical piece of wood here. So just rest on like that. It's on a slight angle, but that should be fine. The screws that I'm going to use are these ones here. I've gone for decking screws, and they're 65mm long. When you're drilling the screws, what we need to do is make sure that they go down straight into this piece of wood. So in your head, you need to be thinking, right, that piece of wood is 2.5 centimetres thick. So I need my screw to be about 12mm from this edge, so it goes into the middle of that piece of wood. You'll notice that when I'm actually going to drill these screws into the wood, I'm not going to stand here. What I'm going to do is move my body sideways, and bring my body down, because then I can get myself in line with that screw and just see that it's going straight into the middle of this piece of wood. We also need to make sure that screw is going straight, not on a funny angle, because otherwise it's going to start piercing the inside of the outside of our flower box. When you're using a drill to start off with, always go nice and slowly till the screw bites into the wood. Then you can take your fingers away, keep pressing down hard with the drill, but just control the speed at which the drill spins using the trigger. Often when you tell people to push down hard with the drill, their first reaction is to actually press the trigger very hard. As soon as you do that, what tends to happen is the actual screwdriver head, the little drill bit part, just bounces on top of the screw. When that happens, either you damage the screw or you end up damaging the drill bit. So it is important you push down nice and firmly, but you press that trigger slowly. You don't want to go too quickly. As you get more confident, you can get it quicker and quicker. But definitely to start off with, just take your time and be patient. You'll notice I'm just putting two screws in either side, and I'm actually putting it inside the groove. So when it's down, it's below the surface of the wood, so you're not going to catch yourself on that screw. Final one we won't get in the vise because there'll be parts in the way, so I'm just going to do this here in front of you. If you've got a friend to help you, even better, they can just help hold it still. But the most important part is to actually get the screws in the wood first. So we're going to put 2 screws in here first, just so they're biting in the wood, and then I can worry about getting this piece of wood in the right place. I'm actually not going to put this screw here in the second groove like I have done all other parts of the flower box. The reason for that is I've got quite a big knot here. I just tilt it towards you. Hopefully you can see that there. If I go there, either it's going to force that knot to fall out, or it might force the screw to go in a funny angle. Either way, if you've got the choice, keep clear of the knots. So I'm just going into the 3rd groove just to make it a bit easier. So both those screws are now in the wood, so now I'm going to make sure this is in the right place. There we go. Now I can hold down there, push down, straighten it back up. There we go. Flip this over. Exactly the same from this side. Get the screws into the piece of wood first. Notice how I'm taking my time getting them in nice and slowly. Just be careful when you are holding a screw, because they do have quite sharp edges, so hold it loosely. If you hold it too tightly, when you start screwing that screw into the wood, it can tear and rip your fingers, so just be a little bit careful. Some of you may want to wear gloves when you do that part. There we go. There's the top piece to our flower box. So we're going to do exactly the same with these smaller pieces. So, goes in there. Just going to use 1 screw for this. It's only a small piece, there should be plenty to hold it. Just check we've got the other 40cm piece. When you're putting these pieces together, just remember the top edge should be pointing in the same direction. So that edge is flush, top and bottom. Go. Oops. There we go. Our bottom frame and our top frame. What we do need to do is make sure that we've got the orientation correct, so we've got the long pieces in line with the long pieces on the bottom. And now what we're going to do is screw these into here just to help hold these pieces in line to stop them shifting side to side. Now that we've made the frame, what we need to do now is put these corner pieces in here to help hold it all together. So what I'm going to do is drop, tilt it towards you, put that in the corner like so, and what I need to do with a pencil is just mark, tilt it totally so, just mark where I want to put the screws. So I'm going to put one screw there, so it goes in this bottom frame, and one in the top section. Okay, tilt that back. So I've got my two pencil marks, one to go in the bottom section, which is about that bottom half there, and one to go in this top part. Now I need to do that for all four pieces. I'm not going to use these decking screws because if I was to measure the thickness of the pieces of wood, you'll notice the decking screw is actually too long. So I need a shorter screws, and the other types of screws I like using are gold screws. They're quite hard wearing, and from experience they actually stand the test of time outside as well. They're good screws, and then they're also strong and well made, so they're easy to take out if you need to. So the size I'm actually going to use are 4x40s. So what we'll do is actually put them into these pieces of wood first before we put them into the flower box. That way it just helps hold the screws more easily for us. Saves us trying to do two jobs in one go. So you'll notice these screws are going in the middle of the piece of wood. You only need one for the top and one for the bottom. I'm going to put these against the shorter side. We're going to tilt it towards you so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to spin it round. That's going to go there. Over. There we go. We have a nice, sturdy, strong frame. What we need to do now is think about the legs and the base.